When you stop forcing, you start flowing. My darling, this is one of the most beautiful truths I've ever learned in my entire life. You see, life is not something to be pushed or manipulated or demanded into place. Life is meant to be allowed. It wants to move through you, to dance with you, to breathe with you. But when we are frightened, when we are afraid things won't go our way, or that we'll lose control, we begin to tighten. We hold our breath. We grasp. We strain. We fight against the very current that is trying to carry us forward. I want you to think of a river for a moment. The water never forces its way uphill. It simply moves with trust. It bends when it meets a rock. It slows when the earth levels out. It doesn't panic or push. It flows. And somehow it always finds its way home. My love, you are meant to live just like that river. When you stop forcing, you start flowing. When you stop controlling, you start creating space for miracles. Most people live as though their life depends on constant pushing. They wake up already bracing for the day, already full of tension, already afraid that if they ease up, everything will fall apart. But that isn't living. That's survival. And survival is not why you came here. You came to thrive. You came to express love, to experience joy, to trust the rhythm of life. You don't have to chase life. You can relax and let it come to you. Now, I want you to notice something. When you act from love, your body feels open. Your breath deepens. There's a lightness about you. But when you act from fear, when you're pushing, proving, or performing, everything tightens. The body knows the difference. The mind knows the difference. And life knows the difference too. Force comes from fear. Flow comes from faith. Force says, if I don't control this, everything will go wrong. Flow says, if I trust, everything will unfold perfectly. One of the greatest lessons you can ever learn is that what you chase runs away, and what you allow flows in. When you let go of control, you don't lose power. You gain alignment. You stop swimming upstream, and suddenly, the river carries you farther than all your struggle ever could. Let's take a breath together right now. Inhale gently. Exhale fully. Now whisper to yourself, I relax, I trust, and I allow life to unfold perfectly. Feel how those words melt tension from your body. That's the beginning of flow. You see, forcing drains you, but flowing sustains you. Forcing says, I have to make this happen. Flowing says, I'm ready to receive. Forcing is built on fear that you won't get what you need. Flowing is built on faith that what you need is already on its way. The entire universe works through flow. Seasons, tides, growth, healing, everything unfolds in its own perfect timing. Nothing good can be forced because force comes from resistance, and resistance blocks the very energy you are praying for. So, my dear, before you do anything, before you send that message, start that project, or make that decision, pause and ask yourself, am I doing this because I'm afraid? Or am I doing this because I'm inspired? If it's fear, step back. If it's love, move forward. Because energy is everything. You cannot plant seeds of fear and harvest peace. You cannot act from scarcity and receive abundance. What you give to life is what life gives back to you. When you stop forcing, you start listening. You begin to hear that gentle inner voice that says, wait, or now, or rest. That voice is wisdom. That voice is love. And it speaks quietly, because truth doesn't need to shout. So many people miss their guidance simply because they are too busy pushing. But the moment you get still, the guidance is always there. I remember many years ago, when I was building my early workshops, I used to force everything. I would push myself so hard to be perfect, to please, to prove, and all I got was exhaustion and doubt. But the day I surrendered, truly surrendered, something beautiful happened. People began to show up. Opportunities appeared. The right words came naturally. That's when I learned that life works when you do, but it works best when you trust. Creating conditions instead of pressure is how we return to flow. You can't force a flower to bloom. You create the right conditions and trust that it will. It's the same with you. Stop pushing yourself to be better. Instead, create a space of kindness where you can naturally grow. Make your environment peaceful. Rest when your body needs it. Breathe deeply. Start small. Celebrate progress instead of perfection, because motivation thrives in an environment of kindness, not pressure. We've all been taught that pressure makes diamonds, but I want you to remember, pressure also breaks things. What truly transforms you is patience, presence, and love. When you are kind to yourself, your energy expands. And when your energy expands, your possibilities do too. You don't have to demand action from yourself every second. You just have to prepare the space for inspiration to arrive. When you clear the clutter in your mind, the next step becomes obvious. When you rest, your clarity returns. When you let go, the right people, ideas, and timing begin to flow in. You see, everything that is meant for you cannot miss you, unless you are too busy forcing to let it in. Life loves you. It really does. It wants to give you everything you ask for: love, peace, prosperity, joy, but it cannot deliver it into a clenched fist. You must open your hands. You must open your heart. You must say, I am ready, I am willing, I am worthy. Every time you soften, you make it easier for miracles to reach you. Every time you trust, you speed up divine timing. Every time you release control, you return to harmony with the universe. This is not about being passive. It's about being present. It's about allowing yourself to be guided instead of forcing your way through the dark. Take another breath. Place your hand on your heart. Whisper gently, I make it easy for myself to succeed. Feel how comforting that sounds. Doesn't that feel better than, I must get this right? You are teaching your body to trust life again. You are teaching your heart that safety is not found in control, it's found in surrender. You may think, but Louise, if I let go, won't everything fall apart? Oh no, my dear. When you let go, everything that isn't meant for you will fall away, and everything that is meant for you will stay. Letting go doesn't mean losing. It means making space. It means choosing peace over pressure. So today, I want you to practice ease. Let everything you do be done with love. Let everything you say be spoken with grace. Let every moment unfold naturally. Trust the timing. Trust the process. Trust that even delays are divine rearrangements. And when fear comes, don't fight it. Breathe through it. Say softly, I release control and trust that everything unfolds perfectly. This is how you move from surviving to thriving, from striving to flowing, from tension to peace. And when you live this way, you will begin to see that everything is working for you, not against you. You will stop asking when and start saying thank you. Because trust transforms waiting into worship. I want you to remember this truth. You don't need to do more. You need to allow more. You don't need to prove yourself. You need to accept yourself. You don't need to push harder. You need to soften deeper. That's how life was always meant to feel. Gentle, loving, abundant, and free. Now take one more breath. Feel the rhythm of life moving through you. Steady, patient, kind. Everything is okay. You are okay. You are safe. Repeat this with me like a gentle prayer. I relax. I trust. I allow life to unfold perfectly. I make it easy for myself to succeed. I live in the flow of life, and all is well in my world. And as you breathe those words in, remember, this is not just an affirmation. It's the truth of your being. Life doesn't need to be forced. Life needs to be trusted. And when you trust, my love, everything comes naturally. And now, my love, let's go even deeper. Let's talk about the one thing that so many of us struggle with, the thing that quietly robs us of peace, the need to control time. You see, the universe has its own rhythm, never rushed, never late, but always right on time. We forget that because we've been taught to measure everything by deadlines, clocks, and calendars. But divine timing doesn't operate on human schedules. It moves with grace, not speed. And when you learn to trust that rhythm, you stop living in anxiety and start living in alignment. I know how hard it can be to wait. I know that sometimes you pray, you hope, you do everything right, and still things don't seem to move. It's easy to wonder, why is it taking so long? But what if it's not delay? What if it's divine preparation? What if life is aligning people, places, and possibilities in the background, waiting for the exact moment when everything fits perfectly? That's what trust feels like. That's what patience really is. It's not passive. It's not resignation. It's powerful, steady faith that says, what's meant for me cannot miss me. Patience is spiritual confidence. It's the quiet assurance that your good is already on its way. You don't need to force it. You don't need to chase it. You only need to be ready for it. When you force, you vibrate in fear. But when you trust, you vibrate in faith. And faith is the frequency that draws miracles in. The universe doesn't respond to impatience. It responds to readiness. Every delay, every pause, every closed door is not rejection. It's redirection. It's life saying, not here, not yet, not this way. I have something better. When you stop fighting divine timing, life becomes softer. Your nervous system relaxes. Your body feels lighter. You begin to notice that everything truly does happen when it's supposed to. That job, that person, that healing, that breakthrough, it will all come when you're ready to receive it. So instead of asking, when will it happen? Begin to say, thank you for preparing me while I wait. Because sometimes the waiting is the blessing. Sometimes the waiting is the transformation. Let's breathe that truth together. Everything unfolds at the perfect time. I trust the process of life. Feel how that settles deep inside your body. Feel how your shoulders drop, how your heart softens. This is the peace that comes when you no longer rush the river. And now, let's talk about something equally important, your why. Because without a clear why, you lose your flow and slip back into force. When you forget why you started, everything becomes heavy. You begin to chase instead of create. You push yourself out of fear instead of moving from love. But when you reconnect to your purpose, energy begins to move again. The same task that once felt like pressure suddenly feels like devotion. You're not doing it to prove. You're doing it because it brings you alive. Purpose fuels flow. Fear fuels force. Remember that. Every morning before you begin your day, take a quiet moment and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Not from guilt or duty, but from love. Maybe it's because you want to grow. Maybe it's because you want to serve. Maybe it's because creating beauty brings you joy. Whatever your why is, anchor yourself in it. When you act from love, you move and flow. When you act from fear, you create resistance. So, take out a journal and write your 3 whys. Why you want to live, why you want to give, why you want to love. Let those whys become your compass. Let them remind you that you are not here to force life into shape. You are here to express life through joy. Every time you forget, come back to your why. It will reawaken your heart, refocus your mind, and return you to the energy of trust. When you live connected to your why, the need to rush disappears. Because love doesn't rush. Love is timeless. Love knows that every step, every breath, every moment is sacred. When you work from your why, you're no longer chasing outcomes, you're cultivating meaning. You realize that life isn't about getting somewhere, it's about being someone aligned, awake, and alive. And that brings us here to one of my favorite truths. The energy of flow only exists in the present moment. The mind loves to wander, to worry about what might happen tomorrow, or replay what went wrong yesterday. But the heart only knows now. When you are truly present, you are in harmony with life. When you drift into regret or fear, you step out of alignment with the power that creates worlds. The present moment is where peace lives. It's where healing happens. It's where love breathes. You don't need to fix the past. You only need to forgive it. You don't need to control the future. You only need to trust it. You can't be in the flow if your mind is stuck somewhere else. The river of life only moves through now. So if you catch yourself worrying, stop. Take a breath. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, I am fully present. I am safe. I am guided in every breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the air entering your lungs. Feel the miracle of being alive right now. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. When you live in the now, something magical happens. Time expands. You begin to see beauty in small things again. You notice the sunlight through the window, the taste of your morning tea, the way the wind moves through the trees. Those simple moments are gateways to flow. That's where creativity, intuition, and healing arise. Not in thinking about life, but in living it. So, my darling, let's tie all of this together. Trust divine timing. Because the universe is never late. Reconnect with your why. Because purpose gives your soul direction. Live in the present. Because that's where your power is. When you bring those 3 together, you become unstoppable. Not because you're forcing your way forward, but because you're flowing with grace. Every breath you take is a message to the universe. I am here. I am ready. I trust you. Every moment you surrender your need to control, you open the door for miracles to enter. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop striving and start receiving. Let's end this part together, softly, slowly, intentionally. Take one more deep breath. Feel life breathing with you. Say to yourself like a gentle promise, everything unfolds at the perfect time. I trust the process of life. I am fully present. I am safe. I am guided in every breath. And know that as you speak these words, life is listening and smiling back. Because in this moment right now, you are aligned. You are flowing. You are free. Imagine you are walking through a beautiful forest. The air is soft. The sunlight dances gently through the leaves, and the path beneath your feet winds like a quiet river through the trees. You can hear the song of birds in the distance, and each step brings a new view, a patch of wildflowers, a ripple of wind, a glimmer of water beyond the moss. But if you walk too fast, if your eyes stay fixed on some imagined destination, you miss the beauty that is all around you. You miss the whisper of the forest saying, "Slow down, my dear, the journey is the gift." That is exactly what life is. It is not a race to the finish line. It is not about arriving. It is about awakening. You don't climb the mountain to get to the top. You climb to see who you become along the way. The mountain isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. It builds your strength. It tests your faith. And it teaches you patience. Every stone, every breath, every step has meaning. You don't need to rush. You don't need to prove. You only need to be present for the miracle that is happening right now. I've met so many people who are always reaching for success, for love, for the next achievement, for the next thing that will finally make them happy. But I've also learned something very simple. The ones who are truly at peace are not the ones who have reached the top. They are the ones who have learned to enjoy the climb. They've stopped saying, "I'll be happy when," and started saying, "I'm grateful now." Peace is found in the steps, not the summit. When you understand that, everything in your life begins to shift. The pressure eases, the self-criticism softens. You realize that there's no rush to get there because there is just another version of here. The only thing that ever changes is your awareness. Life is not about getting somewhere. It's about growing into yourself, one breath, one moment, one choice at a time. So, my darling, I invite you to look around your journey right now. Look at how far you've come. Look at the lessons that once broke you but now bless you. Look at the strength that was born from struggle, the compassion that came from pain, the wisdom that came from waiting. You are not who you used to be, and that is something to celebrate. You are evolving beautifully. When you stop focusing so much on the destination, something magical happens. You start to notice the miracles along the way. The stranger who smiles at you, the friend who calls at just the right time, the unexpected peace that appears in the middle of chaos. These are not accidents. They are signs that life is walking with you. The universe is saying, you are not alone. You are on the right path. Life is happening for you, not to you. Every step, every challenge, every delay has a purpose. Even the detours are divine. Sometimes life slows you down not to punish you, but to protect you, to give you time to grow into the person who can handle what's coming next. So instead of asking, "When will I get there?" ask, "What is life teaching me right now?" That simple shift from impatience to awareness turns your journey into a spiritual practice. Let's pause here. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale peace. Exhale resistance. Whisper softly, "I enjoy every step of my journey. Life is happening for me, not to me." Feel how those words vibrate with truth. They are not just affirmations. They are instructions for freedom. Now let's talk about joy. The kind of joy that doesn't need a reason, that doesn't wait for success, that doesn't depend on circumstances. Joy is not the reward for reaching the top. It's the fuel that helps you keep walking. Joy is what happens when you stop waiting for life to be perfect and start loving it as it is. I often say, joy is the frequency of flow. Because when you are joyful, you are open, you are receptive, you are tuned to the energy of life itself. Think of joy as sunlight. It doesn't create the tree, but it helps it grow. Joy nourishes everything it touches. When you bring joy to the present moment, you allow life to unfold naturally, effortlessly, beautifully. And joy, my dear, doesn't come from big dramatic things. It comes from the small, sacred details of your everyday life. The things you usually overlook when you're rushing. The warmth of your morning tea. The first light of sunrise through your window. The sound of laughter drifting from another room. The way your body stretches after rest. The quiet miracle of your own heartbeat. These moments are not just little things. They are the very essence of life whispering, "Thank you for noticing me." Take a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time I truly paused to enjoy what is already here? When was the last time you said thank you to your body for carrying you, to your breath for keeping you alive, to your heart for loving again even after it's been hurt? Gratitude turns the ordinary into extraordinary. Every moment you notice beauty, you shift your vibration to flow. So I want you to make this your practice, not something heavy, but something light and loving. As you move through your day, look for joy. Look for what is right instead of what is wrong. Notice one beautiful thing in every moment, a color, a sound, a sensation. Whisper thank you as often as you can, because joy grows where gratitude lives. When you practice joy, you don't have to force yourself to stay positive. Positivity becomes your natural state. Your energy lightens, your mind clears, your body relaxes, and then life begins to match your frequency. You attract more experiences that mirror that joy. You meet people who bring peace. You find yourself in the right places at the right times. Flow becomes your new normal. Let's take another breath. Feel the air move in and out, effortlessly, freely. This is what flow feels like. No pushing, no proving, just being. Say it with me now. I find joy in the simple, sacred moments of life, because those moments are where love lives. Every sunrise is a blessing. Every conversation is a lesson. Every challenge is a teacher. Every breath is a miracle. The more you remember this, the freer you become. You stop living for the weekend, for the next success, for the someday that never comes. You start living now, and in that now, life becomes enough. You become enough. I want you to picture yourself again, walking through that forest. The sun is a little lower now, the air golden. You realize you're not thinking about the end of the path anymore. You're simply enjoying the walk. The journey hasn't changed. You have, and that's the point. The mountain, the road, the forest, they were never obstacles. They were invitations to discover who you really are. So, my darling, as you continue your journey, promise yourself this: I will not rush my growth. I will not postpone my joy. I will not forget that life is happening right now. Let this affirmation become your gentle mantra, the rhythm of your days. I enjoy every step of my journey. Life is happening for me, not to me. I find joy in the simple, sacred moments of life. Joy is the frequency of my flow. All is well in my world. If you've listened this far, my dear, I want you to take a deep breath, in through your nose, out through your heart, and know that you've already begun the most beautiful part of this journey, the part where you stop trying to figure everything out and start trusting that everything is already working out. You see, you don't have to know how or when the good will come. Good. You only need to know that it will. True faith is not about certainty. It's about surrender. It's about saying, I don't know how, but I trust that it's working out. Life is not asking you to have all the answers. Life is asking you to open your heart and allow yourself to be guided. When you insist on knowing every detail, you block the magic that happens in the unseen. When you try to control every outcome, you squeeze out the space where miracles are meant to unfold. So the next time you catch yourself worrying, stop and say, I surrender the need to know. Let curiosity take the place of control. Let wonder take the place of worry. Because true peace begins when curiosity replaces control. Imagine the universe as a great artist, painting a masterpiece with you as the center of it. You may only see a few brushstrokes at a time, but the picture is already beautiful, already complete in the higher plan. Your job isn't to direct the painting. It's to stay open, grateful, and trusting as it unfolds. You can rest, because the universe doesn't make mistakes. Every color, every delay, every twist of your story belongs exactly where it is. So, my love, when life feels uncertain, when the path seems foggy, when you want to know when and how, come back to this moment. Breathe. Place your hand on your heart and whisper softly, I surrender the need to know. I trust life to guide me. Feel the peace that rises from those words. That's your higher self reminding you that you are supported, that life is holding you even when you can't see it. And now, let's come home to the final truth of this message, the truth that has always been waiting for you. You are not here to struggle. You are here to flow. You are not here to push life into shape. You are here to let life carry you. Like water moving effortlessly around stones, you too can move with grace through everything that comes your way. The river never forces its path, yet it always reaches the ocean. So stop fighting the current, my dear. Stop trying to swim upstream. Trust the rhythm of life. It knows where to take you. It knows how to carry you there. You don't need to chase. You don't need to prove. You don't need to rush. You only need to relax into the flow. Because the moment you do, you align yourself with divine intelligence. And in that alignment, everything becomes easier. Say it with me now, as a soft promise to yourself. I trust the rhythm of life. I relax into the flow. Everything I need comes to me naturally and easily. Feel those words wrap around your heart like warm sunlight. Feel how your body softens as you let go of needing to control every little thing. The flow of life is not your enemy. It is your greatest friend. When you stop forcing, you start receiving. When you stop demanding, you start dancing. When you stop fearing, you start flying. So let life dance with you. Let it guide you, teach you, and carry you exactly where you belong. Not through effort, but through trust. Not through struggle, but through surrender. Not through control, but through love. Because, my darling, when you stop trying to control life, you finally begin to live it.